Hello, Riz here, and in this quick video, I want to demonstrate how you can buy some of the largest companies like Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Meta, Berkshire Hathaway, so on and so forth, if you're Canadian without having to convert to US dollars. So you're able to get exposure to these large cap major, companies that we all know, without having to convert and having to take on any currency risk. So we know at the time of this recording, U.S. dollar is very strong, and correlated to that, the Canadian dollar is pretty weak. So exchanging to Canadian to U.S. dollars is gonna be a big decrease in purchasing power, not to mention any kind of fees that you may be charged on top of it. This is the interactive brokers platform that I used on my desktop here, and I'm going to give you a walkthrough with this. It's very simple, but of course, if you have an account with CIBC or Investor's Edge, if you have an account with TD Ameritrade, TD Direct Investing, sorry, that's the Canadian version. If you have an account with Scotia iTrade, BMO's equivalent, any of the Canadian brokerages, and of course interactive brokers, you will be able to trade these CDRs, which are Canadian Depository Receipts. Okay, so let me give you an example of what I mean. So I go in here in my platforms, go in the search area, and I'm just going to type in, you'll see Microsoft's already there, but I'm going to type in Apple, AAPL, and I'm going to search, and it'll give me a drop down menu here. The one you want to look for if you're trying to buy the US stock, right? That's Apple here, right? Apple last traded at 150.57. Okay, this is the weekend when I'm recording this. The markets are closed, but let's compare the Canadian version. Again, this is a CDR, so ultimately think of it like an ETF that's meant to track Apple stock price on the US exchange. Okay, so, and if there's any dividends, they will be passed on to you as well. So the one we want to pay attention to is Apple Inc. CDR. So the word CDR, Canadian Depository Receipt, is important. AEQLIT, that's the NEO exchange. So if you're on Interactive Brokers platform and you type it in, whether you're on the desktop platform or you are on your app, which is fantastic as well, you'll be seeing something like this here. That's what you want to look for. All right, and once you select this, watch what happens. So this brings up the pricing for the Apple ticker on the Canadian exchange, NEO exchange, and you'll see the price is $22.78 last. Okay, this was on the previous Friday. Now the price is different, but the point is it's supposed to be tracking Apple stock as close as possible. So if I bring up Apple again, you'll notice on the Canadian side it was down 1.34% last trading day. And you'll see the last trading day for the US-based Apple stock was negative 1.42%. So very close to tracking, very near, okay? But the beauty of this is you won't need to exchange. You won't need to, take the currency hit. You won't need to exchange back and get dinged on that. You can directly have exposure to Apple stock, for example, in Canadian dollars without taking currency risk. Let's give you another example. Microsoft, as you'll see, come up. This is the US dollar Microsoft, right? USD Microsoft, the main Microsoft company on the US exchange, on the NASDAQ, 238.07. It was down 1.21% on Friday. If I bring up, the Canadian CDR here, all right, take a look at the pricing for that. So 1.15% down and price of 17.98 Canadian dollars. Okay, and same concept will apply to whatever brokerage you are. You want to make sure you're looking at the CDR version, the Canadian version in this case. All right, so it's an amazing new product. It's actually released. CIBC was kind of the first brokerage to start funding and releasing these kinds of products. And the great thing is you don't have to be a CIBC client. You don't have to have a brokerage with CIBC. You can have any Canadian brokerage and be able to get access to them. So I'm going to give you some examples of the companies you can trade CDRs on. And think Disney, Netflix, Apple, Tesla is on there, Google, Amazon, PayPal, Visa, AMD, Berkshire Hathaway, IBM, just to name a few. I'll actually list all the ones that are currently available as of now. I'm hoping they will add more, but for now, as of today, I will share the most updated list of CDRs available because it's amazing. It's awesome for those of you that are Canadian to be able to get access to it. Again, of course, you could always buy U.S. stocks with the Canadian brokerage, but at least this way you won't need to convert and take the hit. And then if, let's say, you have $10,000 you wanted to buy of Amazon, you won't have to convert and then have it turn to like $6,000 USD, right? So it saps your buying power. Plus, you might have to pay a little bit of an exchange, currency exchange fee. With interactive brokers, you don't, but other brokerages will ding you a couple % easily just on the exchange. So that's it for now. Again, look in the comments. I'll share the or the description as well. I'll share the list of all the CDRs that are available for you all to trade if you want. Again, it's amazing. It's not perfectly tracked, but it's very, very close, and it's worth it because you won't need to take take that risk of currency conversion and all that headache, right? And you get pretty much all the benefits that you care about. So if you buy something like Visa, the CDR for Visa, and Visa pays a dividend, you will get that credited to you as well. All right. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, please click the subscribe button if you haven't. Comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you knew about CDRs or you didn't. I just thought I'd highlight it here because I know there's a lot of Canadians, that are following and paying attention. And of course, it's awesome. I love that. So I thought this would be a nice little tip here for those of you that didn't know that you can get exposure to some large cap U.S. companies without having to actually go out and get screwed on the currency conversion.